Those companies are crazy because they put it on their website. Like they put it on the website, money back guarantee. We have this warranty on it that if you don't get it, we'll refund you in some way. Airbnb is a damn good example of it because I have the worst experience with Airbnb, the worst, and I'm done with them. I'm done with Airbnb. I won't use them anymore. But they had this past year. I went to Florida. I booked Airbnb 6 months ahead of time. Had my place booked out, everything. And I went to Naples, Florida. Show up on a Friday night. So we get to Florida, fly in. We had to fly in to Fort Myers, which is 30 minutes north of Naples. It's 5. We flew in I get there at like noon 1 because I don't like flying in late in the evening. So I want to get up early, fly in, have some time, even if I can't get in the Airbnb because check-in's at 4. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I want to get comfortable. I want to get because I've had a problem where I didn't get there. I lost my rental car. They gave it away. So now, this is when I was in Miami. I lost my rental car. Didn't have a car.
This dude's been through. Dude,
you went to Miami?
Yeah. I would not recommend.
You were balling out of control in Miami.
No, it was out of control, but I wasn't balling.
Yeah, he was just.
Or I wasn't out of control. Like the situation was.
I feel like I already know the root of your problem for your traveling experiences.
Airbnb.
You're planning it.
Oh yeah.
No, he plans great. Actually.
No. Remember the time we went to Branson, and I booked a hotel. We booked a hotel for this time. We went to Branson. We got there. There was multiple of this brand hotel.
Yeah.
I booked the wrong location on the wrong weekend.
We show up and they're like, "Oh no, you don't. This isn't the right weekend." Yeah. We're like. We ended up going to a sketchy hotel, but man, I mean, we weren't there.
No. We went to a nice hotel because I'm like, screw it, let's go somewhere nice.
Right. We went to that resort. That's right.
But it was during COVID, and you couldn't go to the pool, you couldn't go to the activity area.
You had to schedule the pool, bro, for an hour.
Yeah, you get like a 45-minute block.
It was ridiculous.
That's pretty rough.
It was rough.
It was expensive.
It was very expensive. We didn't get no amenities out of it, basically.
Yeah, it was dumb.
So we're like, screw it, we'll go back to this other one. And
we went to a cheap.
It was cheap. It had a box TV and it didn't even work.
Yeah.
The solution to all these problems is just like, don't plan it.
Yeah.
See, now listen, that's my specialty. I go with the flow.
Exactly. Jamie has planned every vacation I've ever been on.
Well, you're lucky enough to have a woman in your life that can do stuff.
This is true. And
well, my woman doesn't.
I was the most prepared, Sam. So whenever I'm planning these things, if I don't plan them, they don't happen.
Yeah.
At the time,
it'll be a day before, and they're like, "So where are we staying?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Nobody booked anything."
I have absolutely no patience for planning that sort of stuff.
At the time, Ryan
was
the
worst, dude.
Because Jamie should be sending me pictures like 6 months out. I'm like, remind me a week before where we're going.
See, that's the way I am.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just need to know how much.
Yeah.
See, I have a problem where like I'll say I'll do something and then I don't do it.
You're drinking and you're like, "Yeah, sounds fun," and then you're like, "That doesn't sound fun."
Well, I just get to doing other things, things that I want to do. It's like I don't want to be looking at websites all night. Like,
have you ever said made plans and you're like, "Yeah, I'll totally do that."
Oh, 100%.
While you're drinking, and you're like, son of a bitch. That was drunk me talking. I don't have any desire to give you that.
Again, want to do that.
A lot of times I'm good. Like, even if I don't want to do something, once you get me out of the house and I'm there, normally I have a good time. But it's like just getting me to that point. But after that, I'm golden.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
You
don't come out ever.
What is it, though? Like, what is it that makes... Well, can I go back to my Airbnb story?
Yeah, go ahead. Please.
I think that's a great conversation. I think a lot of people actually can probably relate with that because
I want to know how they fucked you over.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't even Airbnb at first. It wasn't their fault at first. We fly in, we get there, it's like 1:00. So we got some time. So we go check out the town. We did drive by our location just to make sure it was good, make sure it looked safe. We know where it was at. So at 4:00 we can go check in. And I messaged a guy. A lot of times you can message him and you're like, "Hey, we're in town early. If there's a chance for early check-in, we would like it because we're already here." Mm-hmm. And most of the time they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. The cleaners will leave at 1. You can go ahead and check in." I didn't hear back. And it was actually weird because the night, now like looking back on it, the night that I booked it, I messaged a guy and he actually messaged me and said, "Hey, thanks for booking with me. I hope you look forward to your stay or whatever. I'll be in contact as time gets closer." So I don't remember what he said, but it's something paraphrasing. And then I messaged him and I said, "I'm a big foodie." I messaged the guy and I said, "I'm a foodie. if you have any recommendations on places to eat, I would love it because I always want to get good food wherever I'm going. This is like my main thing I want to do anytime I go on vacation. Good food. He's like, all right, man, I'll let you know in the morning. I was like, cool. Didn't let me know in the morning. Not a big deal.
Never.
Because it's 6 months late. Yeah, I didn't text him back. It's 6 months to go. Something like that. 4 months, something. Not a big deal. The day of, I'm like, hey, we're here early. If we can get an early check-in, I'd appreciate it. Just because we have all our bags in our car, we'd like to unload. And then, because it's never fun having to go out to eat, have a couple drinks. You know, you're
Then you got to go.
You haven't even unpacked yet.
yeah, we haven't even unpacked. So we got all our stuff in there. We want to go out and like
Take a nap before you go eat. That's
I
that's
want
a pro tip.
my first thing. I want to go Mexican, get some margaritas. I want to get in a little better mood because I always go to the beach. So I'm just like, yeah, let's get in a little better mood. Let's get the vibe going. Let's have some fun. But it sucks when you got you can't Uber. You know, you got to drive. You got all your stuff. You're worried about it, and you still got to unpack. You don't want to come back drunk. You have to unpack and figure out how to.
If I come back drunk, I ain't worried about unpacking though.
No, yeah, it's wait until the next morning.
Yeah.
It might not even get
I don't
back
even care
then.
anymore at this point.
It's just staying in the bag.
I'm in the same clothes the whole trip. Fuck it.
And so we show up 10 till, and the guy still doesn't mess with me back. And at this point, it's like, well, he doesn't. In my mind, I'm like, he doesn't have to send me a message till 4 o'clock. That's when you get your code.
Yeah.
Actually, but come to find out, you actually get a login. You get a check-in code an hour before, but you're not supposed to check in. I found that out later on. I was just doing research. So if anyone's in this situation, start calling. If you haven't got a check-in within an hour or a check-in code within an hour to check in,
blowing up the phone.
Start calling somebody, figure something out. But I waited all the way till the time, and we're sitting there, and we pull in, and it's a duplex. Like it's a nice duplex, like down on the beach, and we pull up. And you go to the left to ours and go to the right to the next one. I think it was one of the. But as we pull up, somebody's inside and they peek through the blinds.
Oh shit!
And I was like,
that's a big red flag already.
I was like, that was kind of weird, but it's also a duplex. So I'm like, someone's probably staying on one side. We'll just stay in the other. No big deal. 4 o'clock comes around, still nothing. 4:05 comes around, still nothing. Oh, I'm like, all right. So now I'm trying to message him on Airbnb, like, hey. I think his name is Kyle. I'm like, hey, Kyle, what? I was like, hey, man, we haven't got a check-in code. We're sitting here. What's going on? And then it will let you, Airbnb lets you, like, if things aren't working out, you can't, if you're having a problem.
You can, like, escalate.
Well, yeah, if you have a problem, it can be like, okay, what's the problem? And it has these promptus. And if the guy's not responding to your messages, they'll give you his cell phone number to call. So it gave me his cell phone. I call him. Goes to voicemail. Everybody has their cell phone on them. Now, he could be busy.
He was looking through the blinds.
That was him.
He was busy. Oh, no shit, it was him.
I don't know.
Probably.
We never.
He's like 9 answering the door.
Never heard from this guy.
I've done that.
Never heard from this guy.
Wait, what?
You've never like had somebody knock on your door and just like, I'm not answering that.
No, I answer every phone call and I answer every.
Dude, I screen people all the time.
No.
I'm sorry. If you're my friend and you've called me multiple times, sorry.
But so we're in Florida trying to finish the story. Am I dragging this thing out?
No, we're just interrupting on a regular basis.
So back in Florida, dude peeks through the window, start trying to, I don't know if it's him or who, somebody's inside. I tried calling him, I tried texting him, I tried sending some messages through Airbnb, nothing. So Airbnb on it has, we'll find you a place guarantee. Like there's like this guarantee where if something happens with your Airbnb, they will guarantee you they will guarantee you another place to stay that night.
Spot this would say, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not sleeping in your car, at least.
Yeah. So now it's 4:15, 4:20 on a Friday in Naples, Florida. Never been there in my entire life. Don't know anything except for the restaurant we went to and this place. That's the only thing I know about this whole entire town. And so I click on that thing. It prompts me to give people a call, Airbnb a call. I call them. They're like, okay, we have to go through a procedure where we have an opportunity to call them or get a hold of them for 30 minutes. So like, give me 30 minutes. I'm like, all right. So we go over to Starbucks because
hell yeah,
turns out no service in this town. Turns out I don't have service. So I have one bar service. So I can't load any internet. I can barely get phone calls. So I'm like, I got to find somewhere with Wi-Fi. So we went over to Starbucks. 30 minutes go by. Airbnb just sends me a message, says, hey, we've exonerated all our options. and we can't get a hold of them. and that's it.
You're on your own.
Nice try. Good luck in Florida, bro.
Basically, that's basically what they said.
Later, bitch.
Yeah. Sorry.
Nobody called. Nobody did nothing. So I call back, and I get this new lady. It was a foreign lady, totally different lady, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I'll take over the case from here." So she wants to go through this 30-minute process again. I said, "No, ma'am."
You guys got different phones, or they got special phones? It's just gonna work better for her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, ma'am. It's like I already gone through this process. Time to move on. Like I've done everything. I've called them 10 times. I've texted them. I've sent them a message. You guys have tried. 45 minutes has gone by. Nothing. We're not wasting any more time here. She's like, she somehow convinced me she was going to call him again.
She was going to get through.
Yeah, she was going to get through. But
the
I stayed on the phone with her. It was a hour phone call with this foreign lady. She acted like she was trying to help me, but she was just going through like a promptu of things she was supposed to say. But she was just doing like the first thing and circling back. She's like, well, let's try giving him a call again. And I'm like, no. And it was just like this, it was this big ordeal. And I got to the point where I let her try calling. It wasn't working out. She did, like, I had convinced her that it wasn't going to work out. And I'm like, we just need a different place to stay. Because what she did was she wanted me to go to the house and she wanted me to just start typing in numbers. I don't know where she was coming up with these numbers from, but she's like, try going and doing this number.
You're like, you want me to break in?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to just, okay, this guy is clearly,
what is wrong with you?
This guy's clearly ghosting us. I'm not going to, even if I do get in, it's going to be the weirdest thing ever.
Like, oh, hey.
Oh, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
How the
Thanks
fuck
for
did you get in?
How did you get in? Yeah. It basically came down to it. She's like, take out the blind, pick the lock on the window, slide it up.
You have a hand-sized rock close by?
Yeah, she's like, there's a rock in the ditch. You just throw it through the window.
Oh, man.
You're going to get a couple cuts. It was the dumbest thing ever. And then at the end of the phone call, I had it after like 45, and I kept my calm the whole time. Just kept my cool. 45 minutes to an hour in, I was like, I need to speak to somebody else. I need to speak to a manager. I need to talk to a supervisor.
You went full Karen.
Full Karen. And I wasn't mean, but I was like, this is not working out. You're not helping me. All she wanted to do was circle back to calling the guy. And because I ordered it, I got like Airbnb does these things where like it's lower than normal for right now or something like that. Like they have like these deal packages and they like advertise them when you're on Airbnb. It was something like that where I got a deal on it for like a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. I got a deal on it. Well, when 6 months out is fine. You can get a cheap price on one like that. But when it's the night of and you're trying to get a place for that week, you can't find nothing. It's only thing that's left is the overpriced stuff that nobody else wanted. And so she was like, well, how about this house? I'm like, that's $2,500 more. I'm like, I'm not paying another $2,500.
Oh, shit.
I'll
cover it. Yeah, I'll get it.
All those people are hoping for somebody
like
else to have a problem.
Victim like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like, okay, can you comp me? Because she wasn't wanting to do it. I was like, can you comp me? And she's like, well, I can give you what you paid because we paid like $2,500. She's like, I can give you what you paid and you're going to have to pay the rest. I said, no way. I'm like, I was supposed to be here and stay here for a week off of this price. And all of a sudden now my trip got doubled.
Yeah. At this point, you owe me money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then she's like, well, how about this place? And it's like an hour and a half away inland where you're not even near the beach. And that's the only way you can get a house for that cheap.
What the fuck?
And I was like, no. I was like, I want to stay on the beach. That's what my trip is.
That's why I booked this 6 months out.
Yeah. That's why I came to Florida.
Yeah. We were bargain shopping 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Now we're paying premiums.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it came down to where I was just like, I need to talk to a supervisor or someone because you're not doing this job. Like, you're not doing it. And she's like, okay. She told me they were busy. And I'm like, well, leave them a message. Tell them to call me back. And she's like, well, let me go see if I can talk to him again. And she meant to put me on hold. Didn't put it on hold. And she just sat there and she was, I think they work from home.
Yeah.
And
she was yelling at her kids.
She was talking to her friend.
You better eat that dinner, goddammit.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, she just started talking to her friend. Didn't do anything. She was just talking to her friend, and they were like joking about my house and how I
like, this dude's
in.
gonna give up eventually.
Yeah,
She's like,
basically,
I'll break him.
They were joking and laughing about it, and I listened to it for about like 5 to 10 minutes, just just listening, just because like they say all the calls are recorded.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I know this girl was messing with me, just didn't care to actually help me, and that's like this protocol that Airbnb has. Like they go to these promptus.
It's so weird that she would even want to do that though, because it already happened prior. Like if you already went through the steps of 30 minutes up to that, like why would she like jump in?
Because they're getting paid to try to work you through these things
to make you quit.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to quit. They don't want to pay you. They don't want to help you.
They don't want to have to comp me for a more expensive place. They don't want to lose the money.
Did you get your money?
So basically, I was like, hey, I know you think this is a big joke, but I'm literally in Florida in a town I've never been before, and I have nowhere to stay until Friday night. And then all of a sudden, they quit talking. She muted it, and then I just hung up. And then Airbnb, I called back, and I got another lady, a totally different lady, and she tried to do the same thing.
No,
and I said, she tried it like 3 times. I said, listen, I've done this. I've been on the phone for an hour. I'm done with this. I just want my money back, and I never want to do business with you guys again. I'm done. I just want my money back so I can move on with my life.
Where'd you go? Like Motel 8?
I went to a motel, man.
Yeah, there you go.
I went to a motel.
I mean, now you're really balling because you got $2,800 or however much money to go spend at the bar.
No, they didn't give me. It took 2 weeks to get my money back.
Oh.
And it was this whole. She was supposed to send a supervisor to me, and she's like, "You hear back from them tomorrow." It was 2 weeks before I heard back, and they were trying to call me at 10 o'clock at night on like Sundays.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because they're in India and it's noon.
Yeah, it was a joke.
It's Monday at noon. You're like, hey, what the fuck is
This
going
guy
on?
don't ever answer his phone during business hours.
Biggest thing of joke. It was the biggest joke ever, man. It was insane.
It's fucking
I ended up
midnight when you're calling.
I ended up going through VRBO. Got a place for a week. We like direct messaged this guy. They hooked us up. They gave us like a late checkout, and we seen it on Airbnb because we were looking for stuff for like houses and hoping they would comp us for it. And we ended up finding it, but then we found another one. It was $1,000 cheaper on VRBO because it didn't have a cleaning fee. Or it was like something like it was like $700 cheaper or something.
Yeah, you know, we talked earlier about crazy business ideas. Mm-hmm. I've tried like 3 times to get my wife to start a, what do they call it, travel agent? Because she loves it. She'll look on VRBO or Airbnb, or she'll look on them things all day long.
Yeah,
I literally just learned about fucking the
VRBO.
I always called it Verbo. Is that not what it is?
It probably is.
Yeah.
It's vacation rentals.
Yeah.
What? Booking.
Well, in a nutshell, it's better than Airbnb. I think that's what we're. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, that's the nutshell. You know?
I've used it a few times now, and it seems to be working out.
Yeah.
You can only get burned so many times, and you're just like, I can't go back.
Yeah.
But we were talking to people on vacation while we were down there. I usually have some type of chaos, whether it's a rental car given away or.
Oh, I got a story for you guys.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so me and Jamie's honeymoon. She's probably gonna kill. She's gonna kill me for telling the story.
It's fine.
She won't hear.
We stay at. I don't know if we use Airbnb or what. But
Where'd you guys go?
we went to like Frisco area, Dillon, Colorado. So we slept at like 9,000 feet. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We rented out this giant cabin, and to get to the cabin, you have to go down this super duper steep mountain.
Wait, what?
Essentially.
I don't care. Whatever you want.
We rented, also, when we got to where you rent your car, I'm like, I want to upgrade. I want the nicest thing you got on the lot. Mm-hmm. And it was nice. It was like an Infinity something SUV Q whatever. I don't know. It was nice.
I want to try that, by the way.
And I'm like a habitual like prankster or mess with you. Like,
yeah,
there's no getting away. So we have this super nice rental. We're living on this mountain.
That's smooth.
And we decided we want to go into town for the day. And we get in, and it's like no big deal. And we're driving down the hill, and we're only going about 4 miles an hour. Okay? I don't know what you guys know about vehicles. They stop pretty good at 4 miles an hour. And so I was like, I'm just going to brake check. That's all. Just a little brake check. Just
Jamie probably
to make sure Jamie was on her toes, you know? Well, I brake check her, and the vehicle just stops.
Oh, I bet
it just stopped.
Was it one of those panics where she throws her hands out and she's about ready to?
She didn't have time to throw her hands out.
Dude, I knew this was where it was going.
This little incident with the brake check cost me $800.
Wait,
Through the window.
She busted the windshield out with her head.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And my dumbass, which I'll never do again, declines like all the insurance. I'm like, no, it'll be fine.
I don't need it.
We're risking it.
Yeah,
Nothing's gonna happen.
And I tried to tell him like, oh, you know, it was an act of God. We were driving down the interstate, and a giant bird just came out of nowhere, and they're like,
Swooped in from the outside.
yeah, they're like, we don't care. Yeah,
You're paying for it.
It was $800.
$800.
Yeah, I called my insurance company. Shout out Anthony Heyman. He's like, dude, you're better off just paying for that.
Yeah, Anthony's my guy too, man.
Yeah.
He rocks it.
What happened, Anthony?
Because he's like, we could get Safe Flight there pretty quick, and it probably would have been cheaper, but it was a weekend.
I broke
That's a really good way to ruin your honeymoon because, like, I thought I killed her.
Why didn't you just wait? Yeah,
I thought I
that's
killed
like
her.
killing a wife on the honeymoon to ruin it.
Yeah. Hey,
Besides the $800 window, I put my wife's head, my new wife, into the windshield.
yeah.
Like, shattered it. And
sure
I thought,
she
all I
loved
could
it.
think was, I just crushed every bone in her body.
Man,
And
Did she get hurt at all?
It's tough.
Nah, she's
Yeah, she's
stout.
she's a thick girl.
Did she get any injury?
She had a headache.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Nothing new.
Yeah,
She always had a headache.
Yeah, she's used to those.
Dude, I broke a fucking.
But not even blood, nothing?
No, she had like a
miles
little
per
goose egg, but
bet.
she hit it hard, and she like I think she had like her feet like crossed in the seat too.
That'll teach her.
And I remember saying to her, I'm like, dude, your hands didn't go out at all. Like, how slow are your reflexes? Because if somebody brake checks me, I'm ready.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Well, that's what she gets.
Well, you think you're ready.
My mom used to
But
brake check us when
until
we were
it's-
kids. You know, I was always ready.
Oh yeah. Well, that means her parents didn't like. They didn't.
They weren't abusive.
I wasn't gonna go there, but yeah.
They didn't.